Securing junction, designate 14 lateral. Second squad moving to dorsal promontory, designate 15 dorsal. Listening to the reports from Edin Kâhl gave Lothar a little idea of the scene inside the bioship. He knew from past conversations with Mirtun and others what the inners would be like. Aspiration chambers full of clogging fog, slick lubrication tubes and throbbing ichor pumps, hot hull-like exhaust verticals expelling the accumulated heat of a creature that, by any keen understanding of biology, should not be able to exist. Despite this and hollow recordings of previous expeditions, he found it impossible to create a proxy simulation of an environment even more alien than a gas giant's storms or the depths of a helium sea. Fortunately, the scan data from the boarding party provided a better geotopographical interpretation for him to work with. A hollow of the triangulated readings hovered just above the sensor station, overlaid against a translucent rendering of previously encountered bioships stored in the Grand Endeavor's fane, at least those that Jordiki had been able to coax from its records. The similarities were clear, even though this exact configuration species of the Bane had not been encountered before. Its internal layout formed equivalent, reasonably predictable patterns. With this information, Lothar was able to place a virtual marker in the display of the assault teams, highlighting an area previously identified as the Statocyst chambers. The best minds of the leagues had studied captured bioships and determined much of their anatomy, but the exact functioning of many organs and systems was still conjecture rather than fact. Lothar knew that Statocyst chambers, typically 4 of them in a symmetric organization, affected the movement and sensory abilities of a bioship in a similar way to those of waterborne invertebrates found all over the galactic core. However, in the depths of space with minimal gravity to impart directionality, it was not known to what force the primary Statocysts responded. Some thought they were potentially attuned to the warp plane in some way. While the theory was very much up for debate, the practical application of this knowledge had been tested many times since the Bane had invaded the Leagues. Disruption, preferably destruction, of the Statocyst chambers rendered the bioship unmaneuverable. Returning to its inter-system biostatic state, the ship was then an easy target as it drifted lifelessly across the void. Destroying the organs was, however, a far from easy task, and even then other creatures within the bioship had to be dealt with. There should be a coil route heading vertically up and down from 15 dorsal, Lothar told Irdin. You need to climb up through the aortic channel and then cut open a membrane across an opening on your left. Understood. Beginning ascent. Small pulsing runes moved on the display, clustered around the brighter rune of Mirtun. Lothar tried to not fixate on that particular symbol. He knew that every kin fulfilled a life worthy of the animus given them by the Votan, from Kâhl to reactor technician, Grimnir to hydroponics farmer. He also knew that he was functionally incapable of the kind of emotion that other kin might feel for a special individual. And yet, his thoughts were interrupted by Duriat comms. Receiving signal from the canny wanderers. It's Fjortor. Lothar gave a nod and the comm speakers crackled as the inter-ship link was established. I'm on? Right. This is Fjortor commanding the canny wanderer for the Herkenderson prospect. I seek an audience with Mirtun, gate mistress of the Aebon channel, void maiden of the... She isn't here, Lothar cut in as he checked the scan of the bioship. The expedition were almost completely past 15 dorsal and making their way through the cut membrane into the superior amphibole. The quickest way to their objective was, unfortunately, through part of the immense creature's digestive tract. She's busy, I'm afraid. Mirtun's actually on that Bane monstrosity now? Did she not get the message? She received your missive, but judged this matter of higher priority. I'm sure you would agree that securing such a valuable prize and preserving kin life are our foremost concern? Yes, of course. I saw that she had sent over a boarding action, but figured that perhaps she wouldn't have gone herself. The juxtaposition of this assumption with everything Lothar had stored on Mirtun in his databank set off a short cascade of processor reactions, culminating in a brief but loud laugh. You haven't met Mirtun? Once, when I was much younger. Lothar had been left strict instructions for this eventuality. I assure you that Mirtun will attend to your message the moment she has returned to the Grand Endeavor, he said. She really would rather hide herself in the guts of a Bane monster than hear what I have to say. This is ridiculous. Your comms appear to be working well. I do not understand the problem. I have to guarantee that she has received the message. There can't be any room for doubt. Then I am afraid you'll have to wait. You do not understand, answered Fyodor, his frustration growing. I have to deliver this message in person as soon as possible. I was tasked with this by the Heartspeak. And if they hear that you did not do your utmost to fulfill their wishes, you think they might withhold payment? Silence was the only answer Luthar needed. He rapidly assessed the situation and summarized that Fyodor was intent on joining the boarding action. It was in everybody's interest that the two forces were coordinated in their efforts. I can share tactical data with the canny Wanderer if you wish. No need. I have been tracking the attack since we came within range. Going for the shutdown and loot approach? That's the plan, yes. Luthar ran a quick evaluation through the scanners. He was not programmed for combat leadership, but tactical thinking was mostly a matter of informed pathfinding anyway, and he had quite a wealth of data to use. A dorsal entry would divert a considerable proportion of the mounting opposition, he suggested. There was no reply for a short while. Haven at the scanner reported that the canny Wanderer was maneuvering into position above the bioship, their trajectory taking them close to a cluster of spiracles just under the rim of the forward edge of the main shell. Let Myrtle know we're on our way. Fyodor out.